everyone, it's me, Toni Homeperm, the singing diva of Long Island and nail polish enthusiast. And today I'm bringing you a very special video. I am doing my swatch and review of the new Aura Bloom Polish Rise Up and Resist collection. I do want to give a big thank you to Laura, the creator and brand owner of Aura Bloom Polish, for sending me this collection. I do want to be totally transparent and let you all know that I was paid to swatch these polishes. However, my thoughts and opinions on the polishes themselves, 100% my own. Now you may be asking, well, Toni, what is the Aura Bloom Polish Rise Up and Resist collection? Well, I'm so glad that you asked that question, and I'm going to tell you right now. Fortunately, Laura sent me an email describing everything about the collection, and I'm going to read that to all of you right now. Please bear with me. Not easy for me to read my phone, especially with the contacts in, so bear with me. The Rise Up and Resist collection is a charity collection to celebrate Pride Month, yay, and give a special focus to some LGBTQ+ activists and events that created change and paved the way for rights and equality. $5 of each bottle will be donated to Promo Missouri, which is a public policy and advocacy organization in Missouri that helps fight for rights and equality in the legal system today. So when you purchase from the Rise Up and Resist collection, not only are you helping to support an indie nail polish brand, but you are also supporting a charitable organization. Now, the collection is scheduled to be released on June 1st. I don't think this video will be up before then. However, I'm going to put all the relevant information about the collection down below in the description box. Okay, we've got all of that information out of the way. Let's jump into seeing the polishes from the Rise Up and Resist collection. First up is Brick by Brick, which was inspired by the Stonewall Uprising. This is a brick red pearlescent polish with red-orange microflakes. Fun fact, I have actually performed at the Stonewall Inn. For those of you who don't know the history, the Stonewall Uprising was a series of protests that began on June 28, 1969, and it started with the raid on the Stonewall Inn and is generally considered to be the beginning of the LGBTQIA+ movement in America. Here I'm applying my first coat of Brick by Brick, and I have to confess, my thumb application was not the greatest. I don't think I had enough polish on the brush, but I found that it was still very opaque in the first coat. As I always like to say, when you're trying to apply polish and you're trying to do it while filming, it is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I did find that my second coat fixed all the inconsistencies of my first application. It was fully opaque, very shiny, very reflective. I did notice a slight brush mark, but I blame my application, not the polish, for that. And here is my thumbnail. After applying top coat, I used Sèche Vite, and it made it even shinier and glossier, and I am really quite in love with how this looks. And it is definitely a brick red. I would certainly call this a brick red. I would not call this a primary red. And here is my full hand manicure with the polish bottle, and I think it looks stunning. It's really a beautiful red. As I said, definitely a metallic brick red, not a primary red. And I really enjoy how this looks. And here is my full hand manicure all by itself. And I just love how this looks. A beautiful, beautiful metallic brick red. It's the kind of red you could wear anytime for a night out on the town. It would also work as a great Christmas holiday polish. And of course, it's obviously a great red to wear for Pride season. Next up is Revolutionary Street Queen. This is a warm orange pearlescent polish with gold orange micro flakes. Revolutionary Street Queen is inspired by Sylvia Rivera. She was a Latina transgender activist who began her activism by participating in the initial Stonewall Uprising protest at the raid on the Stonewall Inn. Sylvia was a founding member of the Gay Liberation Front and the Gay Activists Alliance. She also co-founded Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, also known as STAR, with her friend Marsha P. Johnson to help homeless transgender youth and sex workers in Manhattan. And here we have my beginning application of Revolutionary Street Queen, and I have to say, love this polish. We don't see enough oranges in polishes, and this one is just so good. Almost fully opaque in one coat, and it just had a beautiful gold shimmer running throughout it. I found that for myself it was fully opaque in 2 coats. If there was any wonkiness in my application, it's just because of trying to apply polish with a camera and ring light in the way. Here is my thumb with the glossy top coat, and I am noticing a bit of visible nail line, and I just need to say that's due to the fact of the ring light and filming. It is not something that you would notice in regular lighting. Here's my full hand shot with the polish bottle. And I have to say, this is just so vibrant and stunning. There is just nothing like a super vibrant orange on your nails as a full hand manicure. It's something that everyone is going to sit up and take notice of. I did mess up the application on my middle finger. That was me, not the polish. I don't know if it's actually even showing up in my footage, but if there is anything showing up on the middle finger, that was my application error, not the polish. And here is another full hand shot of Revolutionary Street Queen. I'm trying to think of what I can critique about this polish. I really don't have anything negative I could say. The formula was great. The color is great. This one, top marks for this one. I love it. Pay It No Mind. This is a soft golden yellow pearlescent polish with yellow and green microflakes. Pay It No Mind is inspired by Marsha P. Johnson. She was a black trans woman and rights activist. She adopted the phrase, "Pay it no mind," for her middle initial, P, as a statement and response to people questioning about her gender, because it doesn't matter and they should pay it no mind. She participated in the Stonewall Uprising, beginning with a strong position in the protest and pushback at the raid on the Stonewall Inn. Marsha was one of the major figures in the gay rights activism cause, and Later in life, she joined in activities to advocate for AIDS-related healthcare reform, as well as performing in theatrical works to bring attention to those topics. I found that this was a beautiful yellow polish. I thought it was a true yellow in that it did not lean orange or green. To me, it was like sunshine on the nails. And for a yellow, very, very opaque, even in the first coat. And for me, I found that I had enough opaqueness in 2 coats. The formula on this one is a little bit on the thick side, which I tend to find with Aura Bloom. I don't mind that. I prefer thicker rather than thinner. Here it is in 2 coats with my glossy top coat of Seche Vite on the thumb. And you can see it looks stunning. And here we have the full hand manicure. And what can I say? This is like wearing sunshine or lemons on your nails. I'm trying to think of good words to describe it, but they're failing me. It's just so lovely. Another one of those nail polishes that if you wear this, people are gonna be stunned by your manicure. They're going to stop you and they're gonna say, "Oh, I love your nails. What are you wearing?" It's just one of those polishes. Certainly perfect for spring or summer if you are a seasonal nail polish wearer. I tend to be a little bit of a seasonal nail polish wearer, but personally I would even wear this in the cold winter months if I chose to. This is definitely one of those polishes that if you're feeling a little down, maybe a little depressed, and you want to put on a nail polish to cheer you up, to brighten up your day, this one is going to do it. This will definitely fit the bill for brightening up your day, making you feel happy. You just can't feel sad or down when you have this on your nails. Love the color, love the formula. I'm really, really happy with this one. Like the orange, there aren't enough good yellow polishes out there, and this one definitely top marks. Supervisor of Hope. This is a medium sage green pearlescent polish with green and gold micro flakes. Supervisor of Hope, and I'm saying it that way because the super is capitalized in the writing of this polish. This is inspired by Harvey Milk, who is known for his hope speech, famously stating, "You have to give them hope." In 1977, Harvey Milk was the first openly gay man to be elected to office in California, where he won a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. He sponsored a bill banning discrimination based on sexual orientation in public accommodations, housing, and employment. This helped give hope, which was always Harvey's goal. Unfortunately, he and the mayor were both assassinated in November of 1978. However, Harvey's hope speech still lives on and helps bring hope to all. This applied very easily, even though it was not fully opaque in the first coat, which I would not expect it to be. It was still very shimmery. I think I might have overworked the second coat a little, but it was still very opaque and very reflective. I did have an issue. It was not the polish's fault. When I put my top coat on the overworked area, it looked really bad, so I had to take it off, completely redo it. So this, what you're seeing now, the thumb with top coat, is not from my original footage. Now, what you're seeing in my full hand shots here, which looks great, was actually a redone manicure. Also, the middle finger got a little messed up after the first coat. I got a little bump because I was rushing, and I just put the second coat right on top of it and top coat, and I think it looks okay. I don't think you can see any mistakes, but that did happen. What did occur is when I did the manicure the first time, my top coat, it made the polish underneath deform, and I think that was because I put too much thinner in my sèche vite. I've never seen that happen before. So I ended up having to take everything off, completely redo the polish, and I grabbed a fresh bottle of sèche vite, and when I put that on top, everything was fine, no issues. So the inconsistencies, the deformation of the polish, all of that had nothing to do with the polish itself, because when I used the brand new bottle of sèche vite, great finish, beautiful glossy top coat, and it looks great. So lesson learned: don't overthin your sèche vite, I guess, is what I would like to tell you. All that being said, the formula on this was great, applied very easily, and I love the color. Gay is good. This is a rich royal blue pearlescent polish with blue and teal microflakes. Gay is Good is inspired by Barbara Giddings. She was a huge rights activist and took part in many activist organizations. She founded the New York chapter of the Daughters of Bilitis. She also was an editor for their magazine, The Ladder, but was let go after she refused to be as conservative as The Ladder wanted to be. In November 1967, Barbara and her friend, Frank Kameny, hope I'm saying that right, were co-counsels in a Department of Defense hearing, but neither were lawyers. Barbara and Frank dressed conservatively, but wore pins that said, "Gay is good," to make a statement. They fought to discredit an expert witness that was testifying that homosexuals can be converted into heterosexuals. Yeah, right. After their cross-examination, the expert witness was removed from the list of expert witnesses. Now, Gay is Good seemed to have a slightly thinner formula than the other polishes in this collection, but it was still very opaque in the first coat, but I would not call it a one-coater. I found that it was fully opaque in the second coat. It was a beautiful electric, I would call it a cerulean royal blue with that beautiful blue shimmer. And here is my thumb shot. And I do need to point out, I did not put top coat on the thumb here. So there's a little bit of brush strokiness that occurred. But if that does happen, it will be minimized once you do put top coat on. I feel I have to just be transparent about that fact. Here is my full hand manicure, and I do have my sèche vite top coat on these nails, and I have to say, this is just so gorgeous in a full hand manicure. There's something about a royal blue on your nails that just makes everyone stop and stare. I mean, I don't make these rules. I just, follow them and occasionally break them. But this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous in a full hand manicure. This would work great for seasonally, for a winter manicure. It's great for summer. It's great for Pride season. This would even be great for the holiday season, Christmas and Hanukkah, actually, because Hanukkah, you have to have the silver and the blue. And here is just another full hand shot, and I have to say, the formula was great. As I said, this was slightly thinner, I found, than the other polishes, but not too thin, so it applied great. The color it's just so vibrant, so gorgeous. I love it. Yeah, again, another top mark polish in my book. Really glad to have this one in my little hands. Last but not least, we have Matriarch of Marriage. This is a deep purple with a hint of plum, pearlescent polish with purple and magenta micro flakes. Matriarch of Marriage is inspired by Edie Windsor. For those of you who don't know, Edie is one of the people who paved the way for same-sex marriage to be legally recognized, thus making her the matriarch of same-sex marriage. This occurred because she sued the federal government to pursue a refund of taxes that occurred when her spouse, who was another woman, passed away. So there's a lot of details to it, but long story short, she helped pave the way for same-sex marriage. So, fun fact, my application was quite a bit shaky because I had just finished a large iced coffee. Caffeine and nail polish application do not always mix. However, the opacity on this one was incredible. This one nearly a one coater. However, I never put just one coat of polish on my nails, so we are actually going to get a second coat. You can see my application there was a little wonky, but it's okay. That all got taken care of with the second coat and top coat. But look at the opacity on this. This is stunning, and that beautiful pink shimmer within it, so striking. And here we have my thumb shot with a glossy top coat of Seche Vite. And here we have my full hand manicure. I applied a little bit too thickly in the first coat. However, the second coat, it saved the manicure. Also, let us give thanks to the cleanup brush and acetone. I don't know what I would do without those. And another full hand shot of the manicure. And I'm struggling to try to see if I can clock even a bit of visible nail line with having only done 2 coats, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Sometimes, as I've pointed out, I don't see any visible nail line in normal lighting, but under the ring light, in footage, I can see a little VNL, but not so with this one. 2 coats, and this is totally opaque. Even Superman ain't seeing through this polish to clock your visible nail line, okay? Great formula, great opacity, beautiful color. So I thought I would try to do some creative nail art with this collection, and I did sort of a lazy gradient, but I really didn't like how the gradient turned out, so I put a topper on top of my gradient, and I actually used Tyler's Trinkets, the rainbow connection, and I like how it looks, but part of me felt like I really obscured a lot of the polishes from the Aura Bloom Rise Up and Resist collection. So then I said, let me take the polishes and put them on an old nail stamping tool, the silicone, and sort of stamp the polish on that way. I was trying to do a marbleized effect, but I think this just looks a little muddy. So then I did another attempt, and I said, let me do another lazy gradient of the polishes. The thumb didn't come out too bad. I did a gradient stamping with those little white triangular cosmetic sponges, and it's not the greatest, I admit it. Those gradients are hard to do. My hat's off to the people who can do them really well. That does not include me. So I said, okay, can I fix this? So I said, let me put a topper on again, but this time let me not use one as densely packed as the Tyler's Trinkets. And I grabbed my Prism Parade Cybernetic, which is a sort of silvery holographic flaky shard-like topper, and I like how this looks. It's not my favorite gradient that I've ever done, but I think the topper managed to save me, and I actually left this on for a few days, and I did get some compliments out in the wild on it. So you definitely could make a great gradient out of these polishes. You just need more skill than what I have. And there you have it. That was all the polishes from the Rise Up and Resist collection from Aura Bloom Polish. Once again, thank you to Laura from Aura Bloom Polish for sending me this collection to swatch and review. As I said before, the collection is launching on June 1st, and I will have all of the relevant information as far as purchasing the collection listed down below in the description box. Now, as for my final thoughts and opinions on the Rise Up and Resist collection, well, I have to admit I am biased, drag queen here. I love all things Pride. I love rainbow. But with that being said, I have to admit, I loved the formulas of these polishes. I love the colors. I love the inspirations behind all the polishes themselves. And I think this is a great collection. If you like this video, then please hit the like button down below. As long as you're clicking on the like button down there, might as well click on the subscribe and notification bell. And of course, please follow me on all of my other social media platforms. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.